Tony, as I mentioned at the segue, the issue, the question is leadership. And I really began to pay more attention to this as I was doing my doctoral research, how much energy has been done on the leadership question. And during the study, I myself began to realize, although I think on some levels I understood it, that it is very, very critical. And so to build these collaborations, how critical is this for you in terms of Tuskegee, Macon County, the Black Belt? How critical is this leadership question?
Well, I think the leadership is key. The leadership has to be such that we come to the table understanding that we've got to invite others to participate. Leadership means that we get the community to recognize and realize that we grow this community together. As citizens, as organizations, as institutions, the more we grow together collectively, the better environment we create. Therefore, we all start to grow and are able to take advantage of the opportunities we have here. And the leader helps to facilitate that, to help others realize that we all are going to benefit by what goes on here. Not just a few, not some left out, but giving everyone the opportunity to participate in the growth and development and improvement of conditions in our community. That's critical because as a leader, you want to help set up the standard by which we will move forward. Mm-hmm. The standard of sharing, of hearing, of understanding, and participation. Mm-hmm. See, as citizens understand more because we will reach out to citizens, give them better information, we can make better decisions. We understand what impacts our way of life, what allows us to have a better quality of life, whether it be health care or streets or our schools or our city government or our county government or our major institutions like the university, the VA hospital. It has to do with us being informed and participating. Mm-hmm. And as we do that, then we will grow because we're growing together. And a leader has to facilitate that by communication, by reaching out, by helping others work together. Collaboration doesn't happen in and of itself, and you know that. It happens because there's a group of people who say, we're going to try to make this happen. Mm-hmm. And when somebody gets away from that, we have to remind each other, look, we're working on this together. Now, whatever it is, whatever issue you have that's outside of that we're missing, we need to bring this into it to keep it moving forward. Else you're going to fall off the train, so to speak.
Well, you know, we've talked in the past about the notion of the community concept versus the self-interest of others. Sure. And so that is the challenge. I mean, historically, I mean, we know, as you look around the country, we have people who have simply built their wealth and their power base by exploiting other people, not just African American people, but the masses of people. That in a real sense, the notion of capitalism that some people hold, sure, which is not necessarily the true notion of it, right, is that, okay, I got to get mine, and the rest of you suckers got to get yours. Right. I mean, that's an attitude that has to be fought. I mean, so the notion of being a transformative leader, and that's what I hear you talking about, is being a transformative leader. How can you address that?
Well, you address that by identifying people who really recognize what community is and what community is about. And you work to build together unity with those people and strength in forming that direction. And then as others either come into it or move against it, you keep focused on your direction, which has to be a positive direction. Mm-hmm. And you constantly work together to make sure you're all on the same page. If there are those who choose to be outside of that, who choose to work against it, who choose to work on their own, separate and apart from what's developing, you don't waste a lot of energy trying to overcome that. You reach out to them, but you continue to keep focused on your positive strength and energy and what opportunities we have here. As we do that as a collect of people and organizations and institutions, we'll get past in any smaller group or entities who want to just keep things in a narrow focus for themselves, mm-hmm, or by themselves. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Institutions, organizations, governments, cities, counties, states, nations move and forge ahead because people come together behind a common goal and common concept of the betterment of all.
Okay, and I can buy into that. Let me just kind of quickly move to this council race that you're in. Right. And I you know, I always have to ask why. You know, I was talking you know, about the challenges the other day, and one dear lady said, well, you have to see it as a challenges. Maybe you should need to think of it as growth potential opportunities. Okay. So instead of talking about the challenge of governing, I'm going to use this dear lady's term. She gave me permission to use it. And I want to talk about what growth potential opportunities that you see that make you feel that you wanted to be in this race, because you're in a community that has a historical pattern of disinvestment, and it's been isolated from growth and development around the region, and the politics, frankly, don't have the best reputation, to be honest with you. If you got ears to the street and you got ears to the history of the city, the politics of the city is kind of ugly.
Okay. Well, I mean, that was one of the main things that caused me to have an interest in actually running and getting involved in city government. I've been here a number of years. I've interacted in the community in different capacities, in business and education and organizational levels, working with volunteer organizations, working with nonprofit organizations on different boards, and I've seen and witnessed those things that have held us back. Mm-hmm. And I've come to recognize that although many people thought businesses could come in here and change the community, they never developed. My background is politics and economics. And I know that from economics and economic development that you have to have the right political foundation in the community to help and grow business and develop business. That's part of the challenge we have here, to create an environment that's open to growth and development of business. And that's what why I felt I needed to get involved, because our structures in the past have not been open to that. And if we can open up those barriers and reach out to businesses, industry, job opportunities, we can help this community to move ahead.
So you've got to create this kind of competitive image. I mean, you got infrastructure challenges, you've got image challenges, the issues of crime are on the table. If I'm a corporate developer, I want to be able to assess your community. How can I assess Tuskegee? I mean, how do I evaluate Tuskegee's strengths?
Well, you look at, as you said, from the other side, you look at the strengths of Tuskegee. We have tremendous assets in this community. We have a world-class university with all kinds of skills at that university, not only from the faculty and staff, but particularly among the students as well. Mm-hmm. We're located on the I-85 corridor, which is a main corridor for growth and development in the whole Southeast right now. I-65 will roll into I-85 as they complete that bend coming around Middleine on the east side of Montgomery toward us.
Sure, I know
and you'll see a lot more business developing as a result of that. We have the natural resources along the I-85 corridor that have not been developed. Mm-hmm. All the other exits have been primarily developed. We have an opportunity to have the best growth and development, planned growth and development along our corridor. Mm-hmm. We have the skills and expertise among people, as I mentioned earlier. We have enthusiastic and creative people who have excellent ideas, who have not come forth with those or been encouraged to really get out front with their ideas to show what this community could be.
Okay. Brother Haygood, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another pause for the cause. And when I come back, I want to talk about your own personal history here in Tuskegee.
Okay.
Bear with us, if you will.
All right.